Welcome to this podcast. We're revisiting the reflection of Dr. Otto, who takes us back to the year 2000 when Uganda's parliament passed the Amnesty Act. His account blends history, personal experience, and sharp critique of how the law has been applied. Let's walk through his words together.
It was the 21st of January, the year.
Dr. Otto begins by situating us in that moment. January 21st, 2000, he was just 23 years old, already a member of parliament and president when the Amnesty Act was passed. This was the foundation of a law that would shape Uganda's response to conflict.
You see, this is a very unique situation. I was in parliament in the year 2000 when the Amnesty Act was being passed. Actually, it was the 21st of January, the year.
He then explains the long title of the act. For Otto, this wasn't just legal jargon. It was a way of ordinary citizens to understand why the law existed. The Amnesty Act was designed to forgive those who were involved in warlike activities, offering them a path back into society.
2000. And if you read the long title of the act, it states, the long title is what a layman can use to understand why the law is passed. So it says the Amnesty Act, then the long title, an act to provide for forgiveness of those involved in warlike activities and related substances. So when we were passing the Amnesty Act in 2000, I was 23 years old and a member of parliament.
At the time, northern Uganda was engulfed in war. Joseph Kone's Lord-resistant army had abducted thousands of young people. Otto reminds us that the Amnesty Act was meant to give them hope, a chance to return home without fear of execution.
Then, we did not imagine that the Amnesty Act would apply to political dissent. At the time we were passing the law, there was war in northern Uganda. Many young people who were abducted by Joseph Kony, maimed, taken into captivity, wanted to come back home.
He recalls a tense night in Gulu Barracks when MPs met President Museveni as they pleaded for abducted youth. Rebels launched mortars nearby. For Otto, this was daily reality. For the president, it was a rare glimpse of what people in the north lived through.
But they were saying, if we come back home, the government will kill us. And we went and pleaded with President Museveni in Gulu Barracks. And thank God that night we were, Acholi parliamentary group was with President Museveni in Gulu Barracks. The rebels also attacked the LRA rebels. I think they stood like some 10 kilometers and sent some mortars. So the PGB then came running. Your Excellency, they have...
Otto paints a vivid picture of the reception centers. By 2001, rebels were returning in large numbers. In Pajule, he stood with General Salim Saleh's thousands lined up for maize, beans, saucepans, and machetes. Alongside these supplies, they received certificates declaring them free citizens once again.
Come. And in my heart, I was saying, it is good. You are here as a visitor and the rebels have come. We have been living with these things. So the purpose of the law was to forgive those who are involved in actual combatant activities to come home. And in one of the reception centers where the rebels were returning in thousands, I remember in the year 2001, I was with General Salim Saleh in Pajule. You would see a huge crowd of people waiting for 20 kilograms of maize, 10 kilograms of beans, a saucepan, a panga. I don't know how they call it in English, panga.
It is panga machete. I think machete.
Then they give them a certificate and say, go home, you are now free. No one will follow you for all the atrocities.
We're also given some iron sheets.
He emphasizes the success of the law. Over 20,000 ex-combatants reintegrated into society. But they quickly contrast that achievement with today's reality, where opposition members in Kampala are processed under the same Amnesty Act. For Otto, this was never the law's intended purpose.
No, then there were so many, because this amnesty law helped settle 20,000 ex-LRA combatants. So today, if I see National Unity Platform members, young boys in the streets of Kampala, being taken to prison and coming out under the Amnesty Act, that was not what we foresaw in 2001. The Amnesty Act could probably be applied to something like LRA, ADF, and all those kind of activities.
Here, Otto raises his strongest critique. He calls it an abuse of the act to apply it to political dissent. If government truly believes opposition groups were a threat, he urges they should use the Anti-Terrorism Act. Instead, the Amnesty Act is being twisted into something it was never meant to be.
So to me, it is abuse of the act. That you get someone for being in National Unity Platform, you take him to Luzira, he pleads guilty, then he comes and gets an amnesty certificate. That is a total abuse. But there is also another law we passed there, which was called the Anti-Terrorism Act, which allowed also the government to list organizations that were terrorists.
As terrorist organization.
Yes, as terrorist organization. So what a sane Minister of Justice should have done, should have first been to list National Unity Platform as a terrorist organization.
So that these activists can be?
Yes, so that these activists can now qualify under the act. So I find it very superfluous, I find it unique. But be it as may, I've been to Entebbe Zoo several times, I've taken my children there.
To drive home his point, Otto uses a striking analogy. He compares opposition members to a tiger in Entebbe Zoo. The tiger is fed on time, cared for, yet it still pulls at the fence. Why? Because freedom matters more than comfort. For Otto, that's the reality facing activists right now. That's Don Armstrong likes it. But one thing I've seen in the zoo, where the tiger, wait, you know, you've seen the tiger in the zoo there. They feed it on schedule, they give it food on time, the government even pays salary for officers feeding them, they even give them ranks. A Uganda Wildlife Authority to feed the tiger on time and the right quantities of meat. But when you go to the zoo, you find the tiger trying to touch the fence, even when it's satisfied, trying to get out. What does it mean? It means freedom is better than peace. The tiger is at peace, eating on time, everything is okay. And finally, Otto offers advice to those imprisoned under these circumstances. His message is blunt. Sign whatever papers it takes to get out. These are not normal times, he insists, and survival must come first. Staying in prison achieves nothing.
But they still need freedom. So in my honest opinion, all those National Unity platforms should just do whatever it takes to get out. Just sign, just say you have done anything so that you get out and go home. Otherwise, you are just going to die there for nothing. So for me, whether it is just sign any paper, please, those of you who are still there waiting, sign any paper, look for anyone. These are not normal times.
You're now speaking like a politician, not a lawyer.
Yeah, these are not normal times. You even see their lawyer. It has to be a Kakuru. If you are a Lukwago, you'll be where you'll be. This is not normal times even for us.
Been there too, so.
Yeah, no, I am not underestimating you, but these are not normal times. If it were me, the lawyer of those National Unity Platform, I would probably be somewhere where areas Lukwago is. So just accept, sign any paper and come out.
As we close this podcast, that was Dr. Odonga reflecting on the Amnesty Act, from its origins in war to its controversial application in politics today. His words remind us of the tension between peace, justice, and freedom. Whether in the bush or in Kampala streets, the struggle continues, and the meaning of freedom remains as urgent as ever.